This is the 8th year of Pokémon GO, and in that time there have been some incredible days to log on and play. Go Fest, new feature releases, Bidoof Day. But have you ever wondered what the single best day to play ever was? Today I'm looking back on my experience playing since the release back in 2016 to figure that out. Starting in 2016. Now this is the year that the game came out, and we all remember how insane it was. Chances are if you played on any day in 2016, it was incredible. But one day in particular really stood out as both the best day of the year to play and one of the best events ever. Halloween. The event lasted from October 26th to November 1st, so we'll just pick October 31st as the best day to play in 2016. Here's why. This was the first ever in-game event in the history of Pokemon GO. Special spawns, candy bonuses, Gengar everywhere in the wild. This was completely unheard of, and the spawns of this event would still be fun to experience today 8 years later, which says a ton about how great the day actually was. I remember heading to the Santa Monica Pier and sprinting around the city and beach, tracking every wild Haunter and Gengar I could possibly find. And Hypno, which was sick but much less exciting, let's be honest. It was absolute madness, especially considering there were hundreds of other people outside playing and catching. It felt like Pokemon GO Fest before that was even a thing, which we'll talk about later in the video because the game got crazier as it got older, which included the craziest day of 2017 by far. And this is saying something because a lot of big updates released this year. On February 16th of 2017, Pokemon GO opened the Generation 2 floodgates, releasing all remaining 84 Pokemon from that generation, excluding legendaries, but including the evolutions of all of the Pokemon. And night one, I found one of the craziest spawns possible.
Brandon, what? Oh my gosh, where's that? We're running. Look what's on the nearby. We have speaking of Typhlosion, Jonathan, we gotta cross the street. There's a busy street right here. We're about to jaywalk this, bro. It's worth it. If I get hit by a car, it's okay. It's on camera. It's right here. Where? It's on this hook. Oh my God, I got it. Woo!
Okay, so what happened is my camera ran out of battery, but we got the Typhlosion right here. Yo, look how juicy he is. Freaking Typhlosion right now, bro. Only 693 candy. We got a freaking Typhlosion right here. No, boom, oh my God. Yes, that is gonna be Typhlosion down right there. That is yes, that's going to the Pokedex. We just got a freaking Typhlosion.
The luckiest Typhlosion on the planet.
Lit.
2018 was another big year for the game. We got community days, the field research, trading, and most importantly, one of the greatest in-person events ever, Go Fest Chicago, on July 14th, 2018. What made this event incredible was a couple of key things. This year was redemption year of Go Fest Chicago because the previous year was the first time this event ran, but it was an absolute disaster. So for 2018 to go smoothly was a really big deal. The gameplay was incredible too, with themed habitat spawns featuring new Alolan Pokemon, new shinies, and one of the rarest unknown ever, ? Unknown. For me personally, this was one of my favorite in-person event experiences due to how amazing the community was. All my friends and fellow creators were there, along with tens of thousands of other players. A research was also given during this event that rewarded some insane Pokemon encounters at the time, like Metagross, and ended with one of the best mythical Pokemon encounters to date.
All right, guys, this is it. This is what we grinded all day for. We waited since Mew to grab this, which means I could do this right now without having it. Yes, I don't have the historical, and there is Celebi. Oh my gosh, wow. Celebi in the decks. Oh my gosh.
Now, to experience that day, you had to physically be in the city of Chicago, which was not the case in 2019, where we saw the last ever appearance of Armored Mewtwo and the introduction of Team Rocket at the same time. But that wasn't the best day to play. It was arguably September 9th. On this day, the Ultra Bonus Week 2 event went live for the world, which was an event unlocked by players at this year's Pokemon GO Fest. Let me explain what was going down on this day. For starters, Team Go Rocket was still extremely new, released only a few months before, so that feature was still fresh and exciting to play. And the event that started September 9th was stacked. All of the Generation 1 regional Pokemon were available in the 7-kilometer eggs globally with their shinies, which was one of the first times players from around the world could get these regionals locally, and the first time they could get them shiny, which I was lucky enough to do.
Oh my God. What? All right, wait. 676, 10 fingered. I guess if you need a shiny, and that was the last egg. That was the final egg of the event. And Gilly got a shiny Farfetch'd on the 10-finger touch. You're amazing.
Premium Pokemon for free, always a good day. Speaking of premium Pokemon, all of Deoxys's 4 forms were available in the 5-star raids to catch. This was a really exciting event, and one of the last ones for a while, because in 2020, the COVID pandemic would lock the entire world down. A game meant to be played outside could no longer be played outside. So what happened? On July 25th and 26th, 2020, Pokemon Go Fest became a global event for the first time ever. This was groundbreaking, and for players, easily the best 2 days to jump in and play all year. It's actually kind of crazy to recap how good this event actually was, mainly because we had COVID bonuses, which meant spawn rates in the wild were much higher, spawn rates on incense were significantly higher, and shiny odds were super high. The gameplay itself was incredible. Day 1 featured tons of amazing Pokemon spawns in the wild, in raids, eggs, and field research. Any way you chose to play was an amazing time. Also, Day 1 featured rotating habitats that changed the spawns every single hour, which I think is one of the first times that Pokemon Go ever implemented this during an event globally. Day 2 focused on Team Rocket, which eventually led to a research storyline giving encounters with Shadow Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and Mewtwo, all with super boosted IVs. It's still one of my best ever Shadow Mewtwo in my account. Also, Victini was released in special research during this event too. GoFest 2020 might go down as the greatest GoFest event that has ever happened in this game's history and might ever happen. So if you got to log in and play those days, consider yourself lucky. 2021 saw a new kind of global event that came back every single year since. But on February 20th, 2021, it was game-changing. The Kanto Tour was a global event all players could enjoy for $12 USD that featured all the amazing Pokemon of Generation 1. It was like a mini Go Fest for the Kanto region, with the big new releases being Shiny Ditto and Shiny Mew. To my knowledge, this was the first time Shiny Mew had ever been globally available in any Pokemon game ever, so that's a pretty big deal. The Kanto Tour as a whole was cracked. Players could choose either red or green version, which would influence the spawns. Shiny rates were super solid and 9 new ones were released. Raids featured the Shiny Birds and Mewtwo, along with Gen 1 regionals, all available shiny. Overall, Day was amazing. Easily the most fun global event they've done outside of Pokemon Go Fest. 2022 was a bit of a weird year for the game, but there was one day that was an awesome one to play. On October 16th, 2022, a brand new feature was introduced into the game, Elite Raids. These were in-person only raid battles featuring the one and only Hoopa Unbound, which happens to be one of the best Dark-type Pokemon in the game to this day. So getting a chance to catch a bunch of these was huge, but even bigger was the secret feature of Elite Raids. In the wild, after the raid battle was beaten, Pokemon would spawn around the gym, including the legendary birds, which I found.
Oh my god, there's a Zapdos! We found a Zapdos! There's a Zapdos here, but unfortunately it's outside of the radius. Oh, I'm gonna tap it, it's gonna go away.
Tap it.
Oh, go back, go back, go back.
No, that
Reverse.
wasn't that. We have to pull over here.
Ah, I gotta get out. Oh my god.
Take my phone.
Okay, oh, what?
I don't know.
You get out too. Oh god. Okay, there's a Zapdos, dude. No way. Wow, this is great. It's not great because I think it's outside of the radius of the gym, which means it's going to despawn when we tap on it, which is dude, they gotta fix that. That is ridiculous. Niantic, if you're watching, help. Also, there's this in the wild, which is, I mean, that could have been fantastic. Dude, no shot. Look, there it is. Wow, a Zapdos. Zapdos in the wild from the raids, from the Elite Raids. This is so cool. Again, we're gonna tap it and it's gonna disappear. Nope. Pain and suffering is all I know. Come on, you gotta fix that.
I may not have caught mine, but many people did. And it could be shiny. I will say there was tons of issues throughout the day, and eventually the feature was just completely removed from the game altogether. So definitely a lucky thing to have experienced it while it was still there. In 2023, one of the best ever global events became free for the world for the first time ever. On February 25th and 26th, the Pokemon Go Hoenn Tour went down globally. Now, although shiny rates weren't as good as the Kanto Tour, the fact that this was a free event was amazing. Latias and Latios were spawning shiny in the wild, there were themed spawns that rotated throughout the day, eggs and raids were stacked with great Pokemon to hunt, and Primal Kyogre and Groudon were released during this event and were featured in raids, which happened to be two of the best Pokemon in the game in their respective typings. There were also tons of new shinies released, including the Gen 3 regional Pokemon featured in the 10km eggs, and of course, Kecleon, one of the hardest shinies ever to get. Although the event was free, the biggest shiny hunt of the entire thing was not. Shiny Jirachi was released during the Hoenn Tour as part of a $5 Masterwork research event, so you did have to pay for that, along with the millions of dollars in raid passes and incubators, which I happily paid. And that brings us to this year, 2024. It's not even halfway over yet, and honestly, it's been a pretty eventful year, but kind of a weird one in terms of events and updates. But there's one that stands out easily as the best so far. Sinnoh Tour. Notice a trend here? These events are worth playing every single year, for sure. The in-person Sinnoh Tour event in Los Angeles felt like Pokemon Go was alive again. Thousands of players were out, creators were creating, the vibes were great. Then for the second year in a row, the tour event was free globally. On February 24th, the world got to play the amazing Sinnoh Tour. Gen 4 Pokemon were featured everywhere in the wild, including tons of unknown on the incense, all of which could be shiny. Even the new routes feature had an exclusive shiny spawning on it that I luckily caught.
I finally got this, the white stripe shiny Basculin. We got it today.
today. Dude, I've been walking on routes the entire day. I never thought I'd say that. Listen, the exclusive route spawn, that's what this feature needed to be fun and worth using. They did it. This was fantastic implementation of something cool and exclusive, again, just on the routes. And this is easily the rarest wild shiny of the weekend is White Stripe Basculin. That's so sick. We got a second one, man. That's really exciting.
Eggs had the shiny regionals, raids featured the brand new Origin Form Dialga and Palkia, and the research brought shiny Shaman for $5 once again. Probably one of the best parts about this entire event were the new features released through Origin Form Dialga and Palkia. Each legendary came with a move that, once activated, did a thing in game. Palkia extended your spawn radius by 2 times, and Dialga stopped the timer on your premium items like incense. 2 features that are probably some of the most useful ever released, but they are expensive to use. And let me know in the comments, what was the single best day of Pokemon Go that you've ever played? And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out these other 2 videos on screen because they're amazing. See you in the next one.